Um, Yay, so it's good to be here. Like it's been really, really long. I had any live session, and it's been a while. It's been a while. So today I just want to talk about um what has changed with Facebook ads and what you should be doing very, very differently to give you results. Right now, I struggled picking up this topic because I didn't even know what to talk about. It's been so long I had any live session. It's been so long I did anything like this. And so it was just a struggle for me to even get a topic to talk about. I've been so occupied with my work and other things, but it's so good to be here. So, if you look at Facebook advertising, I remember when I started back in 2019. I ran my first ad in 2019 after I bought a book on Facebook advertising by Bolu something. I can't remember his name now. Owner of Tribal Pay. Yeah, but that was the first person I bought a book from. And what happened so far was that a lot has changed between when I started doing advertising back in 2019 and today. But I don't want to go so far because that change will be so drastic. I want to look at what has happened between last year and today. And a lot of things has happened because with Facebook ads, you'll find out that it looks like the platform is changing every day. And so many new things are being added every single day. And so let's look at some of the things I think you need to focus on for you to get results. This live will not be so long. I just want to make it 5-10 minutes. But the idea is for you to look at what you should be focusing on so that you can get results right now. So many things have changed, like as I was saying. One of the things that has changed, which annoys people a lot, is the fact that there is ad fatigue today. Like the ad fatigue today is crazy. It's really, really crazy. And so a part of me also thinks it's done on purpose rather than just being that maybe external factors. I feel like it's been done on purpose because I understand, I see the way the platform, an ad you put today suddenly stops working tomorrow. And before, what we usually had was that it takes a good ad, usually 3-4 months of running, five, sometimes an ad can be running up to a year before it starts to fatigue. And I still have ads like that. I have one which I started running back in May 2022. And every single time I switch it on today, it still gives me the same amount, the same results. I usually get results for around 20 naira per registration. However, even with such an ad, it had changed a little bit, right? One of the things that changed with it was that before I was usually getting people around 7-8 naira, but I guess due to the change in currency and other things, which is another thing that's actually affected Facebook ads very well, the falling naira rates and all that. And so your ads fatigue very, very fast. I remember an ad I set up a few weeks back, and what really happened was that within a few days, the ad that was performing started to, misbehave, giving very high results by the next few days, and it was really, really annoying because normally, ads usually stay a longer period of time. Once you've got a good ad, it stays a longer period of time and you can keep using it. But what you notice today is that it fatigues so fast, right? So this is one of the problems you actually be facing today with advertising that you may not have been facing a year back. And this is causing so many people to say, oh my God, Facebook ads is not working. And there are factors to this too. Number one, as some of the things that cause this includes our changing naira. The naira is always falling every day, number one. And then number two, we have a lot of advertisers. So many people are now running ads. Um, so before we had I think I'll talk about this a little bit, 4-1 versus 2-1. Ad space. Okay, so like I was saying, so many people are now running ads, and that makes it very difficult, or rather that makes it very competitive to get ads that, captivating and all that. And so um okay, so that makes it very difficult for you to get ads. And so your ads fatigue every day, ads fatigue very fast. So what do you want to be doing to solve this? What you want to be doing is actually to do more testing, right? You want to do more testing. Sorry. So what you want to be doing is more testing, right? You want to test more, and your ability to create creatives is a very, very highly in demand skill. You have to know how to come up with creative. You have to be thinking outside the box, right? You don't want to be doing the same thing every other person is doing, right? I see this thing with affiliate marketers a lot, where all of them are basically saying the same thing: how to bank 250K, how to bank 200. Everybody is saying the same thing. People are tired, right? We've seen this thing over and over and over and over. You want to come from a very, very different angle, and it starts with your creative, right? Your creative has to come from a different angle. You can't be saying the same thing everybody's saying. If you do that, your ad is going to fatigue very, very fast. So what you want to do is to come up with a different promise, right? Come up with a different way to say the same thing, say the same promise, but from a very, very different angle. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover. Now, the second thing you need to that has changed on the platform between 2022 and today is the ad space. And this has affected number one, which we just talked about as ad fatigue. So, but on the ad space, it's very, very competitive now. Before you had, about for every four contents you see, right? You will see, maybe you will see like what your friend posted. You will see what another friend posted. You will see suggested content. You will see maybe what your friend posted again, and then you're going to see an ad, and then it repeats. But it's no longer like that. Today you see your friend posted suggested content ad. What your friend posted suggested content ad. So what has really changed is that they are now putting more ads in people's front. And so the problem with that is because ads are interruptive, right? You're scrolling endlessly, not as interruptive as maybe Google ads or the rest, but you're scrolling and you're trying to enjoy your Facebook, and then an ad pops up. And it's very annoying because it could be an ad you've seen before. And so people are becoming more and more desensitized, um, more and more desensitized to, seeing such types of things coming up every single day. And so people are becoming tired, right? And this is what is contributing a lot to ad fatigue. Obed, I can see you there. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you so much for joining, right? So people are seeing this, and it is contributing to your ad fatigue. And the more Facebook tries to, fill up as much space as possible, the more it's going to fatigue, the more your ads are going to fatigue. And this is why your ad has to look so different from the 200 other ads that people are seeing there when they are scrolling. You have to really do that. Otherwise, your ad is going to fatigue really, really fast. So what you want to do in this situation, what you want to do here is to make your ad as different as possible. You really can't control this. This is up to Facebook. You can't control it at all. It's completely up to Facebook. But what you can do here to win is come up with ads that are so creative, that are so captivating, that people are still happy to see them. Because you're dealing in an age where it is very, very competitive to show ads. You're dealing in an age where it is very, very annoying. People don't like to see ads. It's annoying. They like to see their content. So what you want to do here is to make sure your ads are as native as possible, which means you want your ads to look like the content they've just been watching, right? So you want your ads to be as native as possible, and then you want your ads to stand out as much as possible. Now, the third thing that has changed is the saturation level of the market. So I talked about this a little bit. The market is very, very saturated, right? Almost everything you talk about. And so this is where you will notice that when you're saying the same thing to every other person, your results are just terrible. right? Your results are just terrible. So you want to change that. You do not want to be saying the same to everybody. Now, I've talked about this a little bit, so I will not dwell here, but it's really important to understand that the market is very, very saturated, right? No matter what you want to sell, there's somebody who else there who is doing it. So what you want to do here, and your secrets here, what will make you really prosper here, is to go on Facebook Library, see what your competitors are doing, check at least 10 of your competitors. What are they saying? What are they not saying? And then when you understand what these people are saying, you want to come up with an angle that says the same thing, but in a completely different and mind-blowing way. So this way, what you'll be able to do is that you'll be able to see that you'll be able to still, you'll be able to create ads that are powerful enough to break that endless scrolling cycle, which is the most important thing you want to do. So let me talk about the fourth thing that you should, that has changed, which is that it is actually now more competitive than before. So what you want to do here, because before, when I started, let me backdate a little bit. Before, when I started, it was not that competitive to run ads. We didn't have so many people running ads. Nobody was even teaching, I'll teach you Facebook ads, I'll teach Facebook ads. But right now, if you turned on your Facebook, right, and started scrolling, before you, especially if you're somebody like me who is into advertising, and I search for stuff like that, it's going to pop up a lot on your feed. I will teach you Facebook ads. I have seen, like this morning alone, I've seen like 4 of those ads that come up and or promising to teach Facebook ads. So almost everybody has a little bit knowledge of Facebook ads, and at one point, almost all of them have tried to run an ad. So you can imagine the amount of ads that are out there right now, and which is why Facebook is actually trying to fill up so many spaces, which is why they reduced it from 4 to 2 per ad, 2 contents per ad. So it's very competitive, and what you want to do here is, okay, what happens here is that because of that high competition, ads have become very, very costly. And so you cannot afford to keep running ads every single time, right? It is becoming very, very costly. So what you want to do here to bridge that gap is to build more repeat customers. And the only way to do that is actually to draw those customers away from Facebook to a place where you own them, where you have what is known as owned traffic, right? The traffic on Facebook is what you call, they're not owned by you, right? They're owned by Facebook. So they are borrowed traffic. So you want to get those borrowed traffic to a place where you own them and they become owned traffic. And this way you'll be able to leverage more on repeat customers, because it's easier for somebody who has bought from you before to buy again than for somebody who has not bought from you before to buy. And so what you do here is, you don't stop running ads, of course, but what you do here is you want to keep increasing the number of people you own, and you can always reach them over and over, so that you do not have to keep spending money on getting new customers every day. I had a friend like that who I worked with, and one of his problems was his inability to keep repeat customers, because it's either he fights with this one or he sells this one, block this one. You see, the problem with that is you have to keep relying on new customers for your business every day, and it's difficult. But one of the things that really helped me in my business, since I started as a freelancer and then moved over to my agency today, is that I've been able to try to develop very good relationships with most of my clients. I try to ask them about their personal life, get to know them a little bit more, so that I can, develop this friendship with them. And so I'm able to get a lot of them to come back and say, hey, can we do this again? Right? So that's what you want to do. You want to save a lot of money by using repeat customers. So how can you do that? Number one, you can use WhatsApp groups. Drive them to WhatsApp groups and keep them there. And to keep them there, you need to be able to follow them up, right? You need to be able to give good information to follow them up, right? You need to give what I use a system known as educational follow-up. And I learned this from a couple of people, one of them being Chinedu Paul. Is a very, very, very good guy when it comes to that. And so what you do here in educational follow-up is that you talk about something valuable that they will gain value from, and at the end of that thing, you add your offer. Now, it's not always that you add your offer. You don't have to add your offer always, but you need to give value as often as possible. So with educational follow-up, what you simply do is just provide value. So what happens is when they're in a WhatsApp group like that and they keep getting value from you, the tendency for them to leave becomes less, because you're not just selling 247, you are also giving them value, and so they love it. They want to be there with you. Now, apart from WhatsApp groups, you have Telegram groups. I will usually suggest, as much as possible, create a Telegram community. Now, this is way easier than an email list, and it's a good place for you to start, right? If you don't have the budget to start with an email list, go ahead and create a Telegram community. It's very simple to start. All you need to do is drive all your, drive all your traffic. Anybody who comes to your WhatsApp, tell them, hey, I have this community where I share good stuff. Go join it for free. And you do not sell on your Telegram community, at least for now, until you've really gotten very large. So that's a very important way for you, to, get more repeat customers and avoid spending so much on ads, right? So these are some of the things that have changed. There are so many other features that have come up over time. For example, as of day before yesterday, I noticed that for new ad accounts being opened, Facebook has added its AI. So this AI helps you generate ad copies, right? So when you type your first ad copy, it can help you generate the remaining, and you can just edit them and use. Now, I always say, if you're going to do that, try to edit them first, humanize them. Don't just use them like that, because people can see the bullshit in AI copy. They are not that effective, right? Especially if you don't know how to prompt. And since Facebook does not give you the ability to prompt, I would advise you to first edit it. It's a good way for you to, see your ad in different alternatives. So first edit it before even attempting to run your ads. So those are some of the things that have changed on when it comes to advertising. I think this will really help you, build a better advertising, make more money from your advertising, so that you're not wasting a lot of money. So let me recap some of the things I have touched about so far, and then I come to a close. Firstly, ad fatigue is really serious these days. Ads you set up die within a few days. They're no longer very effective. So what you need to be doing here is to be very good at testing, right? You need to be making more creatives, and you need to come at it from different angles. Then, the second thing I talked about was your ad space, right? The ad space is so competitive right now. Before, it used to be 4 ads per content, but 4 content per ad. Right now you have just 2 content per ad. So it's very competitive. So many people are tired of seeing these ads because it's just really interruptive. And then the third thing I talked about is that all the advertisers are saying the same thing. So you want to come from a different angle. You want to say the same thing, but from a different angle. You want to create creatives that are unique, one of the creatives I recently did, this was a creative I think I recently did. I was trying to, where is it? Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so I recently did this. It's a paper creative. Oh, okay, so how do I do this? I don't think it's going to show properly, but it's a paper creative. And, okay, so I don't think this will show properly on the paper anyway, but it's a paper creative, and you rarely see people doing stuff like this, because yeah, it's very rare. Almost everybody is saying the same thing, bank 250. I recently ran an ad. One of them was I spent a lot of money, like using, trying to get a graphic designer to do this ad for me, and it did not convert. None of those ads. I spent about 12K, did like 6 graphics, none of them converted. It was the one I sat down to create with Canva that converted. So you have to be very good at, bringing out your promises from different angles, making creatives. Then the fourth thing I covered was building repeat customers. You need to find a way to draw your customers away from Facebook to where you own this traffic, so that you can keep, following them up, using educational follow-up, and getting these guys to buy from you over and over again. So you do not want to rely on running ads every single time you need customers. You want to build your own traffic source. And so, just to add, now when you have added them to Telegram, it's very important you are still able to get them to sign up to a list. It doesn't really matter what. Create some free resource. Get these people to sign up to a list. What you want to do is to have a CSV, or a contact list of people that have bought from you before. It's very important. And maybe in my next video, I'm going to talk about what you can do with that CSV contact list. You want to have this CSV contact list of people who have bought from you before. Very, very important, because you could use this in retargeting. And so I'll talk about this probably in another live. So that's this. That's all. Let me wrap up here. Thank you all for joining me. Well, it's longer than I actually thought. So thank you for joining me. I'll try to do this every Saturday. I want to see if I can do this every Saturday. I actually enjoyed today's own. By the way, I do have a Facebook ads course. Let me see if I can show it here. I don't think this link is showing. I show. Okay, so I do have a Facebook ads course. Yeah, I think the link is showing now. And if you're looking to learn Facebook ads, you can go get that course. It's going for 6,000 naira right now. You could go get that course. It will help you know everything about running Facebook ads from scratch. All right, so that's that. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for joining.